Welcome back to another video. Should that be the intro? What do you think, Daniel? Your natural state of being is high vibration. This is who you naturally are. Now what happens is through past reference experience, through when things happen to you when you're younger, we start to believe that we are the ego structure that we identify with, and that comes with it the lower vibrational emotions until we become aware of it and let it go, and then we raise our vibration and things happen even easier for us. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you where do you actually start raising your vibration from square one. You're like, hey Aaron, you're talking about this raising your vibration stuff. Sounds a little bit weird. Never heard of it. How do I start? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to start, exactly what you need to know. I've got a list of things that are really going to transform your life, and here we go. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron. I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to share you how to raise your vibration, how to actually start, and share with you some things in my life that transformed everything for me and allowed it to be very easy. You probably could tell I have a lot of energy, and that's partially because I've done some of the stuff that I'll share with you in today's video. But in general, raising your vibration normally sounds like a pretty woo-woo thing. And first to say it, when I first heard about it back in 2012, when I started learning about this stuff, I was like, raising your vibration? What? Why would you do it? What is a vibration? Well, guess what I found out? Quantum physics shows us that every single thing is at a different rate of vibration, and everything is vibrating. Vibration everywhere. It just sometimes is going so fast that we don't actually see it. Our eyes don't pick up on it, but everything is at a different rate of vibration. Now, what happens is as we change our vibrational rate, the things on the outside that we then attract into our experience begin to change along with that. So if you want to start experiencing higher vibrational things in your life, the idea is to raise the vibration of your body. And here's the thing too, the higher up this scale you go, the better emotion you feel. The higher up the scale you go, the easier it is for you to think of things and to get an alignment with that reality that you want to experience. So all the way around, raising your vibration will help you feel better. It'll allow your life to become easier. And it will allow you also to find people that resonate with this new way of being. You'll start to see things in reality in a completely new way. It's a very expansive time in your life going and starting this process of raising your vibration. So, first off, let me say that. Now, back in 2012. So first off, I'm going to write it right here. Let's do a little timeline. 2012. I became aware of some of this information. What happened was, prior to 2012, let's say back in 2001, I was just a little niño, and what happened is I had some pain in my life. And if you've watched my videos before, then you've heard some of my story. So between I was 7 to 15 years old, I don't know why I forgot the one, 7 to 15 years old, I had an abusive ex-stepmom in my life where my brother and I had no freedom whatsoever. It's like if we wanted to go have fun with friends, if we wanted to watch TV, if we wanted to even eat more than just a TV dinner for food at dinner at night, we weren't allowed to do that. So my brother and I were very malnourished. My dad's a firefighter. He wasn't home he was home off on 24-hour shifts. So she kind of ran the show. She was very controlling. She was very manipulative. She was very, just kind of a nasty person. Well, 7 to 15 years old, my brother and I had no freedom whatsoever. We'd have to earn going to school. Then my dad divorces her when I was 15. My brother was like 13, 14. And then they get the divorce. And then all of a sudden, my brother and I have freedom. We can eat the food we want. We don't have to just work outside all day. We're allowed to actually have friends. So then we started becoming not so socially awkward. And then after that, it was literally like a whole new world. Well, deep down, I still felt unworthy. There was still that pain of my past that was underlain underneath myself, and I felt unworthy. Even though I was having fun with friends, I felt like there was just something wrong with my life. I felt very angry at my ex-stepmom because I didn't really have much of a childhood. I felt like I was beaten down a lot, and that had a lot to do with my self-esteem, and that was the lower vibrational emotion that I had within me. Now 2012 comes around. At the time, I was working at Nordstrom's in women's shoes. I was feeling negative emotion and I felt unworthy, and I realized that I always had a woman in my life that was trying to control me. Even since my ex-stepmom, 15 years old, never have to see her again. The first girlfriend I got, a couple years later, was trying to control me. Literally, she did not want me to do certain things. She thought I was too outgoing. She wanted to try to put me in a box. I was in a box for so long that when I came out of that box, I had such an outgoing personality. And then she didn't like that. Then what happens is I'm working at Nordstrom's and women's shoes. I break up in like 2010 with this chick. And then I get transferred to a better department within 2 weeks. That better shoe department, called Salon Shoes, had a manager that was just as controlling as my ex-stepmom. Almost the same type of personality. And for years, we could not get her fired. And we tried. We tried because she'd say weird things. She'd get away with the craziest things of saying to people, but she was protected by upper management. So here we are, and we're trying. It's not working. We just have to take the way she's talking to us and keep going with it. We all talk behind her back and all that stuff. And then what happens is 2012.
I've had enough.
I realize I feel unworthy. I'm taking Adderall during the day for ADHD because people told me I had ADHD. And then what happens is I feel the pain of my past. And I'm drinking a lot and smoking a lot of weed because that was the way I coped. And what happened is in 2012, I came across as a man. There's got to be a different way other than all these other things. So I learned meditation. And once I learned meditation, that started to change my life in a very powerful way. Meditation means observing the thoughts. Prior, I thought I was my thoughts. I thought I was my past. Then I learned how to observe my thoughts. That changed everything. And I started to feel completely different. I would start meditating just for 5 or 10 minutes a day, and within a short period of time, my whole entire life began to change. I stopped smoking weed, I stopped drinking, I started feeling completely different about myself, and that led to where I'm at today, which, years later now, I meditate every single day still, but I definitely have a much higher vibration than I did then. The way I describe it to people is on a scale of 1 to 10, I used to feel about a 3 out of 10 consistently, pretty negative emotion. All of a sudden I'm feeling 7 or 8 out of 10, and I don't know exactly where it comes from. I just start feeling really good. What was that? What it was simply, first off, awareness. I became aware that I saw myself as unworthy. I became aware and started to observe my past. But secondly, I started to let go of resistance. You want to know how to raise your vibration? Let go of the resistance. That's it. That's it. All we have to do is let go of resistance. Resistance is anything in the lower vibrational emotions. It's shame, fear, guilt, anger. And here's the cool thing. Now to start raising your vibration, you'll see neutrality is at 250. Neutrality is a huge raise in vibration. Now, this scale comes from a book called Power versus Force. They use what is called muscle testing, and that's how this scale was put into place. These are all different rates of vibration. You've got Abraham Hicks, who uses this kind of scale as well. She's like, think a better thought, and then you raise your vibration. However, I like working at this stuff from the level of the identity. When you realize you're not your past, you then let it go. Now, neutrality resonates at 250, and when you learn to observe your thoughts, that's where you start to really let go of these lower vibrational emotions. Because then you start to see that they're not you. Instead of identifying with them, you observe them. Now, this is what I did. I just observed my little thoughts coming into my mind, and then I'd observe them leaving. I wouldn't try to control them. The second or third day in of meditating is when I had the big epiphany, and that big epiphany was if I observe my thoughts and not control them, then the resistance starts to leave. And then this started a long process, and from the moment you start, your life begins to change in very profound ways. You start to question everything you believe to be true and everything you've bought in from other people. So I realized, I have ADHD. Do I really? Maybe I just have a lot of energy and I need to go ground myself in grass. That's what I eventually reframed it as. You can reframe these meanings. So first off, meditation will change your life. It won't be enjoyable in the beginning because it'll be like, why am I doing this? You're going to have all these thoughts come up and be like, why are you here, thoughts? I didn't invite you. And then you're going to try to control them and you're going to say, just thoughts, just stop it, stop it, stop it. But what you're going to find is the more you tell your thoughts to stop it, the more they stop. They keep doing it. They're little rebels. Those thoughts are rebels. You want to know how to get rid of them? You just observe them. If you stop feeding them attention, they eventually go. Now, you put attention on the observation of them, but you stop giving them resistance. They feed on resistance. And when they feel that, they're like, here, I got more power. But what you do is you observe them. And when you observe them, they then begin to fall away. And they won't have as much power over you. So neutrality, huge, 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 huge step. And that involves simply observing the thoughts, observing the labels. I had a label, I had ADHD. I had a label, I was unworthy. I believed that because I thought that I was my past. Now here's the thing. Every one of us are high vibrational beings. That's why you got this stick figure right here. And you have this toroidal field that goes around the body. Everyone has a toroidal field that goes around their body. It is something that is, some people call it an energetic field that's been around for thousands of years with like the understanding the aura or understanding the different energy bodies that we have. Now here's what happens. We're high vibrational beings. This is who we naturally are. We have little things that happen to us growing up or big things, and it causes a disturbance in our energetic field. Then what happens is we identify with that disturbance and it stays there. And then it keeps perpetuating itself because the way the toroidal field works is it keeps filtering through. And until we become aware of it and let it go, it remains there. Now let me show you what will stay in your energetic field unless you become aware of it. So first off, let's just recap a little bit. The first step to learning how to raise your vibration is always awareness. Awareness. And first off, the key to this is knowing that you are a high vibe being naturally. The only thing you have to do is let go of resistance, and when you let go of this resistance by becoming aware of it and observing it, when you observe it, you're no longer trying to control it, then it just kind of, it's like you're at a park, sitting at a park bench, and there's just people walking by. They just walk by. You see a dog walk by, it just goes and it walks by. You're not going to chase the dogs. You might because you love dogs, but you don't chase the dogs. Don't chase the thoughts, okay? They come and they go, and then that allows you to then disengage energetically from the thoughts that you've been identifying with. And now as you do that, you'll naturally begin to raise your vibration. So let go and awareness is the most powerful thing you can do for raising your vibration. And you just have to trust me on this. If you begin meditating for just simply 5 or 10 minutes right when you wake up in the morning, 5 or 10 minutes right before you go to bed, just once a day, start meditating. I promise you, it will change your life. It has changed my life more than anything else to this day. I do the same meditation that I've done since 2012. I stare at a candle flame because if my eyes are focused on one point, it tends that my mind doesn't wander as much. They say eyes that wanders, a mind that wanders. And then I just stare at the candle flame and I observe the thoughts that come in and I observe them leave. And I let them be there. By allowing them to be there, you stop feeding it resistance. It's a huge paradox, but it is so powerful. So you just do that every single day. I promise you, your life will transform so much. I wish I could just explain this and have you really understand and know that at first it will seem like it won't. But over the course of maybe a couple weeks of doing this, you will start to see your reality in a completely new way. You may think thoughts, but you're not your thoughts. That's the key to this. And up until this point, you've been told, I am the ego. What I identify with and what I experience reality through the 5 senses, that's who I am. When in actuality, you are an eternal spiritual being living a temporary human experience. It's what every major religion shows us, ancient texts show us. It talks about this. And it's because it is something that is deep within our collective consciousness. This is who we are. Now, the key to this also is, now you'll notice, that when you get up to here, you've got the lower vibrational emotions, neutrality, the 0 point, observation, then you got courage and willingness. This is personal development. When people look at Tony Robbins, they're like, yes, Tony Robbins, yes, yes, yes. That is normally what has happened is they are coming out of the lower vibrational emotions, or that is fueling them to then have courage and willingness for a certain vision they have. And what that does is that is then something, so then that's why a lot of people will become very addicted in a way to personal development. They want to go to all this, and it's very powerful stuff, but that's right in the middle, and that is the willpower. Now when I stopped smoking weed, and I stopped drinking, and I started meditating, then eventually I started focusing on my vision. Having a vision is very powerful. The vision I can move towards, making daily videos on YouTube, helping people transform their lives, that had me move towards something. Now eventually you'll see reasoning. Reasoning is the intellect. Reasoning is understanding your beliefs create your reality. And if you become aware of your beliefs, you can then literally architect your reality from the inside out. So this is about becoming aware of the reasoning, and then to get into love, you actually have to drop reasoning. Love is unconditional. Love is who you naturally are. We have all these rules though in reasoning. Once I do X, Y, Z, then I can feel worthy. Once I do this, then I can feel love. But the thing is those reasons, if you let go of those reasons, those rules, you then start to feel love naturally. But you have to become aware of them. These come all the times from when you're young. Our parents say, oh, why don't you, they may withhold their love unless you do some type of chore. So then you say, unless I do this, then I will feel accepted and loved. And then those are built at a young age. Until we become aware of them, they're on autopilot. So that's a more advanced video. If you'd like me to do a video on that, go and comment below and I'll do one on that. But right now, this is just about becoming empowered and raising your vibration. And one of the most powerful things you could do is learn to forgive. Learn to forgive. When we hold resentment and we don't forgive someone else or we don't forgive ourselves, we hold this inside of our energetic field. And the key to releasing all karma, what they call karma, is forgiveness of the self and forgiveness of other. Now, forgiveness, let's look at that for a second. Everyone is doing the best they can with at the level of consciousness they are at. Even my ex-stepmom that was mentally, physically, and emotionally abusive and manipulative, even she was doing the best she could with where she was. She was treated the same way when she was a kid. That's how she believes that she needs to survive and needs to treat people in order to feel powerful. She's doing the best she can with where she was. Now, it doesn't make it right. It's not like I'm like, thank goodness all of this stuff happened to me. However, in a weird way, I'll share with you, I kind of am. But that is about understanding that everyone's doing the best they can with where they are. If someone stole from you, a great friend stole from you, they may have a belief that they can't create abundance themselves. They may have friends or family that they feel like they had to do that for, and therefore they did it. Doesn't make it right. But it does help you understand them a little bit more and understand that they were just doing what they thought. They rationalized it from their own point of view. That makes it so much easier to forgive. Now, what happened is the pain of my past, what I did is I looked at it and I was able to see that it actually led me to a spiritual awakening. It led me to wanting to raise my vibration. And a lot of times this negative emotion creates pressure that then shoots you off to raising your frequency. So you've probably been through some pain. And guess what? That led you to this video, that led you here. That led you to you just wanting to do the inner work yourself, or maybe even learning meditation. And that alone will transform your life from the inside out. So it does serve a powerful purpose. When I look at my past, all I did was I had my past, I literally reframed it. And at first I wasn't aware, like, I need to reframe my past. I was just like, wow, thank God all those things happened, because it led me to this point. It led me to waking up. And it changed everything about me. It led me to this realization and now helping other people do the same thing. So the most powerful things that you can do is forgive by understanding people are doing the best they can with the level of consciousness that they are, and forgiving yourself as well. You did the best you could with where you were. Don't beat yourself up. Know that it led you to this point now. And now what can you do with it? What meaning can you give it? Meaning comes from reasoning. And if you give it a negative meaning, it then has a negative weight on you. But if you let go of that meaning, you give it something a new meaning, then you raise your frequency. So remember, the key to this is letting go of resistance. Let go of resistance, and then your vibration will naturally begin to raise. Become aware of that resistance. Become aware of the meanings you give things, and then you can start to change the meaning. The meaning is up to you. Then what you do is forgive and have a vision for something you want to experience that you can move towards. And then what you can also do is you can have, you start to eventually learn to create boundaries as well. That's something else that's very powerful. Now, here's the thing. If you want to know what your vibration calibrates at, there is a quick survey you can take at whatsmyvibration.com. Whatsmyvibration.com. It's in the top description box below. You click there. It takes you a minute or two to fill out. You just do this. You answer some questions, and then you will have your exact vibration calibrated in the form of an archetype, and it will show you how to get to the next level, plus give you a meditation personalized for your level of consciousness for getting to the next level. So that's at whatsmyvibration.com. I'll go and link it down below. Other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.